Yes, you can actually smoke meat in your kitchen using stuff you've already got.
And we're going to show you how with this incredible Chinese duck dish.
Plus, Kenwood hooked us up with some kit so we can knock up a worldy plum sauce with pretty much no effort.
We're going to put barbecues all around the world out of business.
This is a hack that we're going to start with. You're going to want to repeat over and over again because it's absolutely phenomenal. Grab yourself a large pan with a lid, and if it's one of those handy lids that's got a steam vent, cover it up. A little bit of tape does that. And then into the bottom of the pan, I'm going to place tin foil, and then onto the tin foil, I'm going to place some wood chip. And this is how to smoke meat at home. Not necessarily meat, it could be fish, you could smoke garlic, you could smoke cheese, you can smoke whatever you want. But basically, wood chip of choice into the bottom.
Where'd you get those from?
I've just ordered these online, and these are just whiskey barrel chips, but you can pick whatever flavour or wood you want. And to that, I'm also going to add a suggestion from you guys. Earl Grey tea leaves. Phenomenal.
Yeah, really
tea
nice.
smoked duck, one of your suggestions. In fact, duck was your suggestion when we were asking what meat we should smoke. They go on there, and then you want the duck to sit above it. Do you want to get into that?
Do I want to get into that? I'm not going to fit, mate. Oh, you're talking to Cam B.
Talking to this camera. And then what you want to do is keep the meat off of the direct kind of heat chip tea leaf. So to do that, I've actually got a small colander, and that can sit inside, and the duck can sit in there. So the duck is going to go skin side down into the colander, 2 duck breasts, and that's going to go into the pan. Anything that will sit in there, so you could use a rack that might fit in there, you could do a couple of ramekins that might just keep it off the tea leaves. Then the lid goes on, and you put it onto a heat and heat it over pretty high heat for about 20 minutes, then take it off the heat and leave it for another 10 or 15 for all that smoke to infuse into the duck. Now in doing that, the pan will get hot. By default, the colander will get hot. The duck will start to cook, but it won't cook all the way through.
Well, we've got 20 minutes.
And in that time, we're going to make plum sauce. So duck and plum is a fantastic combination. This is kind of Chinese
I knew you'd go
flavour.
Asian. I knew it. I knew it. Because he loves it. He loves those flavour combinations.
Basically a bunch of ingredients. Shallots, ginger, garlic and chilli, all peeled and thrown into a blender along with our plums. And all we need to do to these is de-stone them. So there's a couple of different ways of making a sauce like this, or a chutney or a relish, whatever you want to call it. One of them is to sweat it all off and let it all mush down. By using the blender, basically we fast track all of that. So we're going to add in the vinegar that we want, and this is rice wine vinegar, and the brown sugar. You've also got the sweetness of the plums, and together you blitz it all up, break it all down into a puree, and then boil it. Reduce it by half, and you end up with the most incredible jammy, relishy, chutney-like sauce.
It's like lava.
Does tend to spit a little. While we wait for the sauce to reduce and the duck to carry on smoking, we can prep our veg. So that is a red onion, peeled and finely sliced. We'll bring back a little bit more of our ginger and garlic. We can chop those nice and fine. These are awesome bok choy. All I'm going to do is take off the very, very base of them and then cut them in half once. And as for these, tender stem broccoli, we're going to cut them in half that way, and then the stalks cut lengthwise. Okay, we're going to take our duck off of the heat, and as tempting as it is to lift the lid and get that wonderful smoke, leave it, because it needs to now infuse in there for another 10 minutes or so. Now, you ready for your first whiff of duck?
Yes.
Tea smoke deliciousness.
Oh, that smells great. Oh, it looks like it's cooked.
So yeah, absolutely has. Because of the heat from here, inside of it traps it like a bit like an oven, so it's pretty much cooked, but it's still got that kind of anemic colour to the skin. So what we're going to do is take it out,
Sear it.
rub this with honey and Chinese 5-spice, and then get it into a wok. A cold wok, bring it up to a temperature, and that should go beautifully golden. We'll take the duck out of the pan, and what's left in the pan is duck fat. So to the duck fat, we can add red onions. We'll give that about a minute before we add in ginger and garlic, along with the tender stem broccoli, because these stalks need the head start. And like with all meat, we just want to cover our duck so it has a chance to rest all the way through. Next up, we'll go in with our bok choy leaves, some of our plum sauce, and you'll only need a couple of tablespoons. The rest will go in a jar and save for another day, and a splash of soy sauce. Give that another minute while we carve our duck. You just want thin slices. And it is so, so juicy. And there we go, to plate up some steaming jasmine rice. Plenty of our gorgeous stir fry piled on.
Call that green.
Sticky onions. Duck can go on top. And then because we like extra texture, although we've got the crunch from the tender stem broccoli stalk, a little bit of black sesame, an optional extra. And that right there is an incredible way to home smoke meat. In this case, we've done duck and we've served it with our own plum sauce. Sorted. Right, straight in.
Right, I've tasted the duck and it was fantastic.
Have some of the Chinese
So
beef.
you're being judged on your tender stem broccoli, mate.
You can take the rest of that home.
That is amazing. I'm going to put that on crumpets.
When you make your own plum sauce, and then you add extra ginger and extra garlic into a stir fry, and this broccoli has still got a nice bite to it, it's so good, so quick.
The flavours are amazing. Like real, proper high-end restaurant quality, I would say that. But I just can't get over the smoked meat. I'm going to be doing this to chicken all day long.
Chicken, fish, cheese, you can smoke just about anything at home using the same method. Cheese, now that wouldn't work. It would melt the cheese. You need to do cold smoked cheese. I'm going to retract that statement.
If you want all the details, they're down below.